Hartford police say security cameras and social media led to the capture of two teens accused in a drive-by shooting that killed a 3-year-old boy. The details being released in a pair of updated arrest warrants. 3-year-old Randell Jones was killed on April 10th on Nelson Street. 19-year-old Josiah Smith and 16-year-old Taekwon Malone were arrested late last month and charged with murder. The teens' arrest warrants were released for the first time today. Those warrants showing Hartford surveillance cameras captured the shooting, and that Randell was not the intended target. His uncle was. Cameras observing a Honda pulling up and shooting into the car, and later 2 men exiting the Honda after dumping it on another city street. Detectives with the Auto Theft Division recognizing one of the men as someone they'd recently arrested, then pulling up his Facebook page, which used a pseudonym, to further identify him. That man admitting to being one of 3 people in the car when that shooting occurred, then identifying the driver as Malone and Smith as the person who fired shots into that car. That man has not been charged in Randell's murder. Again, this is according to those arrest warrants.